Sometimes it feels like everything is going wrong, even when you're trying to do the right thing. It's as if the world turns its back on you just when you decide to walk by faith. And then doubt creeps in. Has God forgotten me? But what if in reality He's just testing you to prepare you for something greater? Think about it. What if every tear, every closed door, and every silence were proof that you're the chosen one for something you can't yet see? What if you face the possibility that nothing is out of control, but rather everything is being orchestrated with a divine purpose? Because what seems like delay might just be God's training to get you ready for what's next. Throughout this video, you'll understand that battles aren't punishments, but invitations to transformation. You'll discover that faith isn't just believing when everything's going well, but standing firm when nothing makes sense. And when this revelation touches your heart, you'll never see difficulties the same way again. The test isn't to destroy you, it's to prove you worthy of the destiny God wrote for you. It's curious how life sometimes seems determined to test us to our limits, isn't it? Just when we think we're ready, something unexpected happens, and everything changes. But what if every setback was actually a push from God to get us out of our comfort zone? Obstacles aren't punishments, but steps that lift us spiritually. God uses difficulties as tools to refine the soul, just as fire purifies gold. It's in this process that patience, wisdom, and strength are born, qualities that truly prepare us for our purpose. When the wind blows hard and everything feels uncertain, that's where faith is put to the test. The chosen one isn't the one who never fails, but the one who persists when everything says no. Pain shapes character, teaches waiting, and strengthens the heart. The secret is to stop fighting the process and start trusting that there's a purpose behind every tear. With every trial overcome, God whispers, "I'm still here." And it's in that recognition that true transformation begins, an invitation to look beyond the pain and see the miracle disguised as difficulty. Some go through struggles complaining, asking, "Why me?" without realizing the answer lies in the question itself. What seems like injustice might be a call to grow, mature, and evolve. Instead of lamenting, we should shift our perspective, see battles as divine tools. When the mind opens to this truth, the heart calms and the soul grows stronger. God doesn't want to destroy you. He wants to awaken the best within you. And that only happens when you learn to see the invisible and trust even without understanding. Imagine if, in the middle of the storm, you said, "God, I trust you." That simple act changes everything. Faith turns despair into learning, loss into direction, and chaos into opportunity. When the chosen one decides to see the good, even in what hurts, the scene begins to shift, not because the problem vanished, but because the vision was restored. The secret is not reacting with fear, but responding with faith. After all, those who learn to see with spiritual eyes understand that even the desert has flowers. You just have to believe God is still tending to every detail. There are moments when God's silence feels deafening. It's as if nothing moves, as if prayers hit the ceiling and bounce back. But it's in that waiting period that He works most deeply. I call this time the desert, a place with no shortcuts, only trust. God doesn't delay, He prepares. Every delay has a purpose, to strengthen patience, test faith, and shape the heart for what's coming. The desert isn't the end. It's the laboratory where the chosen one learns to depend on the invisible and recognize God's presence even when they feel nothing. And it's fascinating how the desert reveals who we truly are. When no one's watching, when nothing works, that's where the size of your faith is shown. Many give up, others complain, but those who stand firm find a power comfort could never provide. It's on the dry ground of waiting that the seed of trust germinates. If today feels like nothing's happening, remember, God is testing you, not punishing you. He's preparing you for what's already yours, just not mature enough to be handed over yet. True faith isn't measured when everything blooms, but when the heart insists on believing even in the desert. There are hours when you can't run anymore. Either you face it, or you stand still watching life pass by. The true warrior isn't the one who never feels fear, but the one who moves forward even while trembling. The Christian was called to fight with dignity, serenity, and trust in God. Being a warrior means choosing peace when the world provokes war. It means forgiving when pride screams, staying silent when the soul wants to shout. This strength doesn't come from the flesh, but from the Spirit, from the certainty that there's a purpose behind every battle. God never promised a journey without struggles, but He guaranteed victory to those who remain faithful. The inner warrior rises even when everyone doubts, because they know they were chosen for something greater. When you refuse to take offense, when you respond with love, you disarm the enemy and activate divine favor. True strength isn't in defeating others, but in mastering yourself. And it's in that mastery, in that unshakable faith, that the impossible begins to move. Because in the end, it's always the courage to keep going that separates those who merely survive from those who truly win. No one likes to suffer, but it's amazing how the greatest lessons come from the hardest days. Spiritual growth happens when we choose to keep our hearts at peace, even when everything seems unfair. It's easy to have faith when the scene is favorable, but true growth comes when you trust while the ground shakes. That's where God expands your capacity, teaches patience, and prepares the ground for greater blessings. Every choice to act with kindness, every forgiveness granted, and every silence chosen are seeds that, sooner or later, bloom. When someone treats you badly and you still respond with love, you're building spiritual muscles. It's like invisible training, where God watches every reaction. He's not impressed by pretty speeches, but by actions that reflect faith and maturity. Being the chosen one doesn't mean having an easy life. It means learning to grow even when the wind blows against you. And believe me, when the heart stays steady, even when wounded, something powerful happens. God begins to promote the growth that comfort could never bring, because it's in pain that the root of faith deepens and becomes unshakable. Pain is a demanding teacher, but its lessons last forever. Suffering is comparable to physical exercise. No one likes the effort, but everyone wants the result. In the same way, God uses discomfort to strengthen the spirit. He knows that without resistance there's no growth, and without struggle no victory. It's in the moment when it feels unbearable that the miracle begins to take shape. Pain doesn't come to destroy, but to shape. Every tear shed is a divine tool polishing the chosen one's character. If you're facing something that hurts, don't rush to escape. Stay, learn. There's something there God wants to show you. Discomfort is the field where faith blooms, where pride is broken, and the spirit is refined. When the mind grasps this, suffering stops being an enemy and becomes an ally. It's in that surrender that the strength is born to keep going, even while bleeding. Because true power isn't in avoiding pain, but in turning it into purpose. And those who understand this never see life the same way again. There comes a point when life feels like a great spiritual exam, and there's no cheating. It's the moment when faith is truly tested. The phrase passing the test means staying calm when everything collapses, continuing to believe when nothing changes, and choosing hope when doubt screams. It's easy to praise God on the mountaintop, but true praise happens in the valley, when the eyes see no way out. The test isn't for God to find out who you are, it's for you to discover who you can become when you trust Him completely. Maybe the door closed, the plan failed, or someone let you down. But none of that is the end. It's the final exam before promotion. The chosen one must prove they won't give up when things get tight. That's when heaven watches and divine favor draws near. Those who stay firm, even when tired, are one step from victory. God never wastes a trial. Every pain has a purpose, and every test passed becomes a testimony. And in the end, what seemed like punishment was just the push needed for the miracle to happen. There are two types of pain in life, the pain of discipline and the pain of regret. One weighs now, the other weighs forever. Enduring the discomfort of doing what's right hurts less than carrying the guilt of giving up. Spiritual discipline is like a wound that heals. It hurts at first, but strengthens later. Regret, however, is like an open cut that never closes, constantly reminding you of what you could have done differently. God doesn't seek perfection, He seeks persistence. It's better to face the discomfort of forgiving today than to live years with a heart tied to the past. It's better to overcome pride now than to regret later for destroying something God wanted to preserve. The pain of discipline makes us grow. The pain of regret makes us shrink. The chosen one understands this. They know obedience is costly, but disobedience costs more. When the heart chooses the right pain, heaven moves in their favor. And what seemed like sacrifice reveals itself as freedom, because discipline is the price paid by those who want to reap fruits that only faith and courage can produce. The story of the Israelites is a mirror of our own journey. They saw miracles, felt God's care, yet still doubted. They grumbled before hunger, complained before waiting, and because of that, wandered 40 years in the desert. The delay wasn't punishment, it was mercy. God knew their hearts weren't ready for the promise. And how many times do we get stuck in cycles because we haven't truly learned to trust? Faith doesn't mature with haste, it matures with obedience. Maybe your desert is a tough job, a draining relationship, or a dream yet to come true. The danger lies in reacting like the Israelites, complaining, doubting, returning to the past. When we do that, the path lengthens. But when we choose to give thanks even without understanding, heaven opens. The chosen one learns to walk without guarantees, knowing each step brings them closer to the promise. God hasn't forgotten you. He's just waiting for your attitude to show enough maturity to cross the Jordan and take hold of what's already yours. Trials aren't punishments from the enemy, they're training from heaven. God uses challenges to shape warriors, not victims. Every obstacle is a disguised question. Do you trust me even now? When the heart answers with faith, divine favor manifests. Trials reveal not what God needs to know, but what we need to recognize within ourselves. That's why tests repeat until we learn the lesson, not out of cruelty, but out of love. God doesn't just want to bless you, He wants to ensure you can sustain what He'll give you. That's why delays, losses, and silences are just part of the preparation. The chosen one understands that every trial is a ladder, not a prison. How you react determines whether you're ready for the promised land or still need more time in the desert. When faith becomes unshakable, life changes. And that's when you realize the trials weren't the end. They were just the beginning of the purpose God always planned for you.